Morning, Coach.
Hey, Pete, how are you?
I'm doing well. I was curious about Antonio Hamilton, and now that you guys have been able to work with him for a few weeks, do you see him more as an inside guy or an outside guy, maybe a little bit of both? Just was wondering your evaluation.
Yeah, since Hamilton has been here, he's very smart. We talked to a lot of people where he came from the Giants and just understanding his strong points. But, right now we're using him in multiple roles. We're using him on the inside. We're using him on the outside, because he had done both in his career. So, just trying to find the best pieces to the puzzle to put out there on the football field so we can win some games. But he's definitely going to have an opportunity to be able to help us in multiple positions. And, that was the same thing that Kendall Fuller was able to do for us last year.
Let's go to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Steve, what's happening?
Not much, man. With everything that's going on between yesterday and today, teams boycotting for change, causing games to be canceled across sports, and some NFL teams canceling practice. Being a black, coach in pro sports, was it hard for you to come in today? And also, what have some of the conversations been like within the team within the last 24 to 48 hours?
Yeah, well, you look at this team and, just playing under Coach Reed, man, I tip my hat off to Coach Reed. He really, opened up, the locker room as well as the coaching staff, to be able to communicate about this issue and just seeing what the NBA players are doing around the National Football League and just listening to our players, our leaders who we have a number of guys on this roster that, put their best foot forward over the last couple of months really to talk about this issue. It just was something that we're open to. We're very open to understanding and making sure that we're doing the right things and making sure the guys are able to express themselves about this situation. So, Coach Reed has been really good about that. And the players, they're definitely doing their due diligence and making the right decision for our football team. But as a whole, as a group, as one, playing in this league for 12 years in the past, I really tip my hat off to these young guys, for really taking a step forward, but yet still the organization's understanding and finally seeing the things that we've been able to talk about over the last 50, 60 years, and now it's starting to come to the forefront. So just really hope that, as a country, we continue to pray and hopefully, be a one accord. But as of right now, our players, they're doing their due diligence. And Coach Reed is giving them the opportunity and the platform to be able to do that and be able to express themselves as well.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Nate.
Really appreciate this, man. I have two questions for you. One is about Rashad Fenton. He seems to just improve since the moment he sort of came to you guys. Just what have you seen from him and his growth? And then secondly, sort of following up with what you just said, I know coaches giving guys the ability to sort of communicate as to what they want to do on opening night. If guys choose to express themselves or to choose to do something similar to what we've seen over the last week, what do you want fans and just the general public to know about the men that you see every day before they make such a gesture?
All right, good. Yeah, I'll talk about Rashad Fenton right first. Since Rashad has come here from South Carolina last year, a late round draft pick, he's just been working extremely hard. You saw later on in the season, Coach Spags was able to develop him and allow him, to play special teams, but yet and still continue to put him in positions where we played him a lot at nickel last year. And we did move him out to the corner a little bit, and he played some there. So, coming into this camp, he knew his exact role, he was going to be a dual guy. So, he's playing faster, and now have an opportunity to mix him in with the ones, with the twos, playing corner, playing nickel is putting a lot on his plate, but yet still making sure that he understands that he's going to be needed in those roles later on during the season. So, with him, he is working hard every single day. I really like his work ethic that he's putting in. He's making some plays. He's around the ball. His quickness, he showed some bursts throughout the course of this camp. So he did a lot of work on the offseason, and we're just going to put him in the best position to be able to make plays for us. And, to answer your second question, whatever these guys come up with throughout whatever they do in the first game. You know, Coach Reed is definitely going to be open to it. We will have discussions. We have team meetings where we're opening up and having guys have the opportunity to communicate and talk about the issues. And so look for guys to be on the same page. And throughout the course of the day, when the cameras are off and these guys are out there working, you know, it's a one team. You know, these guys throughout the course of the last couple of months, last couple of weeks, these guys have been communicating. You could see them sitting around the dinner table, around the lunch table, having these discussions. So that is really good that they're having these discussions and, you know, both sides understanding where they're coming from. But, you know, they're doing a really good job and with the issues but yet still coming here, getting good work, but still doing work behind the scenes of what's really going on in today's world in our society.
Let's go to Herbie. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, always a pleasure to see you.
What's up, Herb? How are you, man?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. I don't see the palm trees in the background there.
Yeah, we back in camp finally.
Hey, a couple of days ago, we watched L'Jarius Sneed stay with Tyreek Hill deep down the field. And if you remember that play, he was able to turn around and knock the pass away at the last minute. With the exception of his obvious speed, what are you seeing out of L'Jarius that makes you think that, hey, this guy could potentially contribute immediately if he's called upon?
Man, just looking at him as a young player and just trying to make sure that we develop him, because any guy that comes into this training camp that came into this camp, we're looking for them to be able to help us down the road. And, you know, Jairus, he's picking up the lingo. You know, is he picking it up as fast as we want to? No, but he is working at it. And at this point, you know, he's feeling comfortable. So like I said before, being able to rotate him in with the ones, with the twos, when you're with the ones, all they do is communicate. Tyrann Mathieu, he tells everybody what to do. He knows what he's supposed to do. And having somebody communicate those things to you that quickly, now you can go out and play fast. We didn't have to work on him with his foot speed or with his quickness, being aggressive at the line of scrimmage. He came with those tools after being able to watch film and the scouts, you know, putting that in front of us and for us to have an opportunity to make a decision to be able to bring him in. So with that, you know, just having the opportunity to put him in those positions, to understand, you know, the speed of college versus the NFL and having to do it over and over. You don't have to go to class anymore. This is your class work every single day. So being in that playbook, being in that iPad, understanding the different calls and the different situations that coach is trying to put you in, as well as Coach Reed putting in those different situations and then going out and executing. So, you know, to be able to see him run downfield and for when he was at the combine, have an opportunity to talk to him and knowing what he likes to do, you know, it just was a pretty good match for us. So, you know, he just got to do it every single play, every single day, and just learn how to become a pro in the National Football League.
All right, guys, we're running out of time a little bit here. We've got two more up. Let's go Sarin and then Adam. Go ahead, Sarin.
Coach, thank you for the time.
Yes.
Kind of like dovetail off what Nate Taylor was talking about there about the players in a demonstration. Bill O'Brien of the Houston Texans earlier in the summer said, if his players choose to kneel, he will kneel. What will you personally do? Has there been discussions as a coaching staff, as an organization, about whether there's going to be, we're all in this together as support? You said they will all be in together when you're talking to the players, but will the organization be there and be a part of any demonstration, or will it? Go ahead, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Coach Reed, like I said, man, one of the best coaches in the National Football League, and he's giving these guys the platform, you know, to be able to open up and be able to express themselves, you know, at this time. So whatever the organization, meaning the players, the coaches, the administration, they choose, and we're going to be one. We're going to be together on all the issues that's going on right now. So once we get to that point, Coach Reed is going to sit down. They have meetings with the players group, and I'm pretty sure they have those communications, and coach will definitely relay them to us. And I believe every last one of these coaches on this coaching staff will be in solidarity with whatever the players choose. And just watching these guys throughout the course of the day, you know, on the practice field, off the practice field, in the locker room, in the training room, they have a lot of respect for one another. And, you know, just having, like I said before, playing in this league, you know, you always have your brothers back. And I think everybody will be on one accord. So we'll just wait to see exactly what these guys want to do, and then I'm pretty sure the coaches will follow as well as the organization as well.
Let's go to Adam for the last one. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Sam, wanted to ask you about Rashad Breeland. Obviously, you guys are going to be losing him here in a little bit. What's your advice for him for those 4 weeks between the time his suspension starts and the time he can rejoin you guys?
Yeah, just keep his mental in check. Last year we had a guy as well that was in a similar situation, and Breeland is looking back on what he did, and he was always engaged with the players, being able to have an opportunity to give them those little tidbits of what they should and what they shouldn't, because we're going to have a lot of young guys that's out there that's going to be playing that don't have many years in the league. So we're going to need his veteran presence and his voice just as much as if he was here. So, for him, just continue to stay in shape, because once he do come back, we're expecting him to come back and be that veteran presence to be able to come in and help us out. So on a continual basis, just wanting him to come out there, be a leader like he's been so far, and helping these young guys, because he knows that his reps are going to be limited. He's continued to get his work on the side and staying after practice and getting running in. So he's doing all the right things, knowing that, that this is a marathon, it's just not a sprint, and he understands because he's been through it last year before. So just being there mentally for our young guys, but yet and still keeping his mental in check as well, and knowing that he is a part of this organization, but he just has a 4-game suspension, and he's just gonna have to go. He's gonna have to do it, and we're gonna hold him down until he comes back.